they were supposed to do, and they came with the right attitude. So, we'll see if the attitude shows up again this week.
What did it mean to you to get Jaden back this week?
It was fun. It was fun to watch him run around. He's got a big smile on his face, and he truly, the game was taken away from him for a second, and you could see every moment he's out there. He gave him a different outtake. So he's out there and he's loving life and he's loving running around and being with the guys. So just a reminder how you get into the groove of things and you take for granted every second you get a chance to be around guys, be around the players, be around this place. So I think he's really enjoying what he's getting to do now.
Is he able to keep his weight? He talked before the season, before the medical issue occurred, that he was bigger this year. He was like 225, 230 versus 210 last year. Was he able to maintain that through this time down?
Yeah. So man, the last I checked, he was exactly the same. I know he dipped down and then he once all the stuff cleared up and all that stuff, and then he started lifting again and eating normally like he's back to regular. He was back to regular. So I don't know what he was exactly today, but
what did you see from him over those weeks when he wasn't able to play or practice? Like, did he stay engaged, like watching film, things that like?
Yeah, you saw the mental preparation. I mean, he went in there on all situations and played, and a testament to him, not letting an adverse situation bring him down. It actually sped up his process. He had to sit in meetings more and do those things right to know what to do in all the calls, and it was a joy. I know his teammates had got a kick out of him watching him come back and play and have fun.
Their quarterback you guys played against last year at Minnesota, I mean, how much have they changed how they use him, and just how unique is it in the transfer portal world? You're going to see a quarterback play for a second Big Ten school a year later.
No, he's doing a great job of being really efficient, knowing where to go with the ball. He's very similar. He's mobile enough to get out of trouble, and you got to honor him holding the ball and stuff and running out on the perimeter. But then, he just looks so efficient out there. He's going back to different reads. You see him scanning the field. He's pretty accurate on his throw. So it's fun to watch him, and then now you got to go compete against him, and it presents challenges. So.
MJ and James Williams both got home a couple times Saturday. What have you felt about just the pass rush and what they've given you there?
Yeah, it's overall, right? Those are things you expect from those guys, as well as the other defensive line group. That was a point of emphasis in the offseason, and everybody is happy that it's showing up in those situations. But we got to get them to those situations, right? This team coming up, they're not going to let you get them into third down and long and let you pass rush them and do all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun that it showed up, but this is a different kind of animal we're dealing with here.
What kind of animal are you dealing with as far as their running back goes?
Yeah, he's probably the best one we've seen to date. Contact balance, vision. The guy, he just does not stop his feet. And the really neat thing about him is you see him and he gets his yak yards are ridiculous. He's getting hit at 2 and 3 yards, and then when they spot the ball, he's gained 6 and 7. You know what I mean? So that's between falling forward, breaking tackles, the O lineman hitting the pile forward, all that kind of stuff. They really do a really good job at finishing plays.
Is there a comparison for him?
Ooh, comparison. Not off the top of my head. He, just overall the whole group of what they do. It's really unique. You're seeing a team that plays with a lot of attitude and effort. So it's different. I would say the UNI running back, he was hard to tackle, but he was much bigger and he ran with force. This, Kyle, both of them. 27 as well. They run behind their pads and their feet don't stop and they just fall forward all the time. So.
You got to play a bunch of young guys in that game Saturday. How's that going to help you think, to get guys like Mario Buford, Jeremiah, those reps as you go forward?
Yeah, the same way that it's helping all those guys now. You see the difference in snaps, the difference between John last year and now, all those snaps, all that experience, just the instincts growing, all that stuff. So anytime Rio and Keona Davis and Vincent Shavers and those guys go on the field, that's the worst they're ever going to look. You know what I mean? So every snap is valuable, especially in valuable time where, hey, they're throwing the ball, they're running the ball, they're doing things at you that you're going to have to defend in normal, in the first quarter. So it was good to see them play.
Does Mario have some of those same, I guess, Buford traits you saw in Marquise, just that allows him to get on the field?
Yeah, very similar. I mean, twitchy, smart. He don't back down from nobody. You know what I mean? But very, very similar, and it's cool because you can see Keese coach him as well. You know, Keese does a great job, man, in terms of leadership. Anytime guys are off on the sideline talking to guys and all that stuff. But there's a little, you can see it's personal with his brother. You know, he's really on him about doing things the right way and coaching him up and getting him up to speed. So it's a cool dynamic.
What have you seen from Keona Davis so far through 5 games? You're able to use a red shirt. You got here later than a lot of guys, but he's played for you every game.
Yeah, explosive. I mean, he's very explosive. I mean, I say, we say that with the young guys that this is the worst they'll look. You know, and as he continues to get snaps and feels what it's like playing there in the trenches and, against some grown men down in there, he's realizing what he can do as well. I mean, again, it's fun because the guys know what he can be around here, in the future and stuff. And so they're hard on him. They're coaching him. They're consistently telling him techniques and stuff and what to watch. So his growth and development is fun to be around.
When did you first kind of realize that he was going to be someone that could play for you as early as he has?
Well, he had elite traits, right? So, I mean, his size, his speed. I mean, he was running 100 meters. You saw that first, and then you saw the twitch and stuff on tape. And then when he got here, I think the first couple of workouts, you're like, wow, he's bigger in person. He's a little twitchier in person. He's a little faster in person. And then you see the aggression and the explosiveness. Corey and those guys and Mitch and Sports Science, those guys did a great job in terms of just getting them stronger and all that stuff. And you're starting, again, it's amazing, right? You're starting to see like the flashes that he's like, okay, I can do this. I can play this good a ball. And it's so great to have Ty, Nash, Jamari, James, all those guys around him. So he sees what the standard is. He sees like, okay, this is the way we're supposed to do it. And then that's all he knows, right? So you need him to continue to develop, though.
They're not giving up a lot of quarterback hurries and sacks. I mean, is that a nature of just the third down and shorts they're in? Or, I mean, how would you characterize it? I mean,
offensive efficiency. They're they're going to pick their spots where they want to throw the ball when they see they got their advantageous looks, and then their running backs falling forward and stuff like that. So you're not getting them into 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. You're getting them into 2nd and 6, and then 2nd and 6 turns into 3rd and 3 and 4. You know what I mean, much different than 3rd, 7, 8, 9. So they just do a really nice job. They know what they want to do.
The lift have you gotten from Sire Wright the last 2 games?
Yeah, he's been ultra competitive. That's essentially what you're looking for, right? I mean, I know again we've got a lot of transfers that are balling and stuff. Banks and Nayor and stuff. But on defense is the same way. You got MJ who came over and is doing a great job, and then Sierra, especially with the injuries and the guys being old back there. It's fun to watch him. Take form and start to be the best version of himself. He's competitive. He knows what to do. Coach Butler's doing a really nice job with Coach Melvin and Tariq and Adam, those guys on the coaching staff, keeping them up. Keeping the standards high for him, not letting them slip up and all that stuff. And it's showing in his work on the grass and off the grass as well. So it's fun.
Is he, I mean, as someone who's spent a lot of time in California, LA, Southern California, is he like a Southern California guy, like through and through? Does he have that?
Yeah, he got that laid back swag, and yeah, he do. You could also, he also was on the Space Jam stuff. He'll let you know. Yeah, he'll let you know quick. So, but that's never taken away from anybody. He's fun to be around, and him becoming a Cornhusker and playing like a Cornhusker and doing things like a Cornhusker into our standards, like that's the most fun thing to watch as a coach. He's being around his teammates. He's liking where he's at. He's thankful for where he's at, and so he's only getting better.
Is he closer to earning a black shirt this year?
Yeah, I mean, based off of the last 2 games, he's I'd say he's damn close to doing that. That's how competitive he is on the grass and doing things the right way. So that conversation will come up whenever coach brings it up.
Tony, can you expand on John Bullock and what he's brought to the team so far, but also just from that culture standpoint, trusting the process?
Well, it's if you're going to say anything about Nebraska, the first person I think that epitomizes what it is John. You know, he's a local guy, he's a Nebraska guy, right? And he comes over here, he walks on. I still remember the day where he's the fourth safety, and when we get here, he's the fourth safety or so, fourth or fifth safety, and Coach Rule standing back there, and he's like, "Hey, you see that guy right there? Well, let's move him to linebacker. Let's move John to linebacker and see whatever." A simple observation like that, right, turns into somebody who's playing at an all-conference level right now, you know, and he's loving where he's at. His decision to come back and play, you know, it's showing up on the grass, it's showing up in the locker room, it's showing up, you know, in family dinners, the smiles on his faces, the celebration when he scored and the guys going crazy for him. Like, it don't get any better than that story, you know. And it's really fun to be a part of that, because that's something he'll till the day he stops breathing, he'll remember that. You know, he'll remember this story. So still got a lot of games to go. He better play well the rest of the way. But it's turned out to be a good one so far. Yeah.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach?
In terms of creating explosive plays, you've gotten quite a few wide receivers, down the field as those vertical threats. I mean, what have you thought of what they brought to the offense in terms of creating those explosive plays?
Bring a lot yet to cover the whole field, when you play against us. Real pleased with, different traits by different receivers, fast guys, big guys, and then the ability to push the ball down the field by the quarterback and the layers of protection that go along with that to allow them to do so.
You talked about the perimeter block a couple weeks ago. Have you seen improvements from those guys since?
Yes, gradual, but we're continuing to attack the perimeter blocking aspect of our offense. We got to continue to get better and better, keep practicing every day, stressing it every day, raising the standard every day till it gets to where it needs to be.
Rutgers is tough in the red zone as a defense. I mean, does that change the play calling at all? What do you guys have to do to kind of combat that?
It's a great question, but no, it doesn't change anything.
And that goal line play with Carter Nelson, was that something you guys have been working on for a while to see? I mean, he's a 7-foot high jumper. Is that kind of the thought, like he's just going to jump over the top of the pile there?
Yeah, I think it was good just to get a rep of that, a live rep for him to go in and execute that. And he got up. It's just they did a nice job of defending it.
And what's it like to draw things up for Ja'Cory and knowing all the stuff that he can give you? What's that process like for you during the week to think of new ways that you can creatively get him involved?
I mean, our offensive staff's unbelievable. Really, really, really good football brains. You want to be the dumbest guy in the room when you're in my position, and I am. So they come with lots and lots and lots of ideas. The players, Dylan, Ja'Cory, we listen to everybody. It's fun to diagram certain things, and hopefully we can continue to do that and build on the ones that we've done thus far.
Him, what specifically makes him unique in his ability to just do things in different ways as a true freshman?
You have fast people and you have athletic people, but you may not have athletic people or fast people that are football players. As we've said before, he loves the game of football. He's like a kid at recess when he's out there playing. he has the natural ability for the movements, and then he just natural instinct for the game. So, I mean, you could literally just talk to him, like, go here, do this, make this move at this depth, and he could go out there and visualize it and do it, which allows you to be more creative with guys like that.
Marcus, with those plays that you have with Heinrich on the field, how do you know when to call those?
Just a feel, I guess. Last week we knew we wanted to do it really early, and the opportunity gave itself, and we did it.
It seemed like the staff really liked Gunner, even last year behind the scenes. What did he do to put himself in position to be ready when he got called on?
I think the way that we practice, the way Coach designs practice from spring ball through camp, through even during the season, our scout team guys get better every single week of the season. We don't just throw them away to read a card. Like we demand a standard of our scout team, and they play really, really, really hard and against some really good players. So I think all the reps he got last year during the season, last spring, this camp, I think has allowed him to develop into, a good young football player.
Coach Rule seemed to think Saturday's game could be really useful for this team, kind of the way that game played out. Do you think that can help you guys going forward, the way you responded to the 0-0 score and all that?
Yeah, I think it was good just to go win a road game, and whether there was having to respond, I don't know if we had to respond to anything. I think we just kept playing and started executing.
What's the biggest challenge of designing a run game when your quarterback is maybe a little more limited in that area?
Another good question. You just try to be creative. Sometimes you run it when you should throw it. You throw it when you should run it. Try to keep teams off balance. You can always find, based on who you're playing, you can always find different angles by formations and motions and alignments. And then there's times you got to get the ball in the perimeter in unique ways, like we've been doing the last couple of weeks.
And what do you think about Dylan's first journey on the road and just how he handled not being in this environment?
Not surprising. Probably was even more focused and locked in. Thanks, guys.
Things have kind of changed over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we're taking it one day at a time. Everyone's ready to step up, and I think that our practice kind of trains us for everything. So I think we're all doing really good individual drills and all that. So I think we're ready for everything.
What have you seen from Gunner in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Gunner's that guy that comes every day with his lunch pail, and he gets to work, and he was always treating every practice like he was going to play. So it was no shock to him when his name got called, and I think now he's really taking that next step forward, and getting his first start out there was great for him.
I think Dylan did just his first road game with crowd noise and having to kind of manage some of the other elements you might have on the road.
Yeah, I think it was handled great. They had a little student section and that their band, so it got a little loud toward that one side of the stadium, and I think we handled it pretty well. And I think it's always good to work on it and practice with the crowd noise and different cadences and stuff. So I think it's something to work on.
Matt talked about playing grown man football yesterday. What's the discussion been like so far this week about reeling in those small mistakes, false starts, etc., leading up to this weekend?
Yeah, I think just handling what we've been doing, and just making sure we fix all the little mistakes here and there. And I think just taking accountability on what's going on and how we can fix it person by person. It's we don't want to play the blame game and all that. We just want to take accountability and focus on how to fix that problem and what's next.
Ben, how have you seen Dylan's command in the huddle and just his comfort level grow through 5 games?
Yeah, I think it's been great. Just really hounding in on the game plan and what we're expecting out there, and every game you're going to see something a little bit different that you don't usually expect, and I think it shows his maturity out there when he sees something that we haven't covered in practice or anything, and just adapting to that and working off of it, and doing the things that he does is some special.
As a senior and part of a group of a lot of seniors, when there's a freshman who's in a role and they're naturally in a position to be a leader, and that can sometimes not be real easy for the old guys, but he seems to have made that transition pretty well. Like, what does he do to make it so like it's not strange or awkward for him to lead you guys who are much older than him?
Oh, he's a natural leader, as a quarterback, you always see the quarterbacks as like the commander of the offense, so it's good to see him out there, and not like forcing it or anything, not like really being like that kind of annoying leader. He's just like that natural leader. He's out there commanding the offense. It's just what he does, I guess. I don't know.
Thanks.
And you guys have shown a lot. There are some plays where Dylan and Heinrich are on the field at the same time, and then you have the Carter Nelson play at the goal line. Are there ever times where you guys get a play call run in and you guys are a bit surprised by what your offensive coordinator is dialing up?
Oh, never. I mean, we have a lot of cool plays, and he's always dialing up some cool stuff. But we're never surprised when we hear that play call.
You're smiling. You must like some of the writing in the offense.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of cool plays, a lot of cool like personnel, and having Heinrich and Dylan out there and putting Carter in there, it's cool to see those guys in there. So it's fun.
What do you hear from a defense, like when the defense is getting ready and they're calling things out, and Heinrich and Dylan are on the field at the same time? What kind of stuff is the defense saying?
They're trying to guess what we're doing. They're saying double pass and all that kind of stuff, but. We have everything out of different personnel, so you never know what we could end up running out of those.
Anything else for Ben? All right.
Appreciate it.
This transition to Nebraska, just speak on that and how quick it came and how happy you are where things are at right now.
Yeah, it's been great so far. The entire team and staff has been super welcoming. I think that's the number one thing that's been made the transition easier. And yeah, I love the culture here. You know what I'm saying? So just assimilating to that culture, getting used to it from what I came from it's been good, and I like the challenge. So.
These last couple of weeks been like for you to have the opportunity to expand the way that it has?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about opportunity, you know what I'm saying? And, just taking your blessings and counting them. So whenever opportunity comes, you just want to be prepared and be ready to seize it. So.
Butler arrived about the same time. How have you meshed with him?
No, yeah, we literally got here on the same day. Like, it's crazy, but it's great. Like, he's an amazing coach, you know what I'm saying? And just the level of football that he teaches is so next level. And, like, you could really tell that he comes with that NFL experience. So being able to be under somebody's wing like that and just get to learn and be a sponge is a huge blessing for sure.
There's a lot of veterans in that secondary. How much does that help just playing along guys like Giff?
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of experience with this defense. I'm coming from a place where I played there for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of learning the new system has been great, and just seeing how they really work together as a unit, and kind of being able to find my role, and that has been really good. And just being able to watch extra film with people like Giff or people like Marquise or Tommy or Sean or whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really helpful for me.
Are you still involved in acting? Are you doing acting stuff right now, or have you taken a break from that?
Yeah, I've taken a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Nebraska, so I ain't gonna be filming nothing out here for real. It's slim pickings for sure.
Your teammates been interested in that in the months that you've been a part of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's something that's not of the norm for a lot of the people here. So they've asked me questions about it, and it's cool to be able to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just something new. Like, being in LA is kind of something that's not really out of the ordinary, but out here it definitely is something that's a topic of conversation sometimes.
Class, we'll get more time with him another.
Appreciate you guys.
Stands out about Rutgers when you watch that defense on the field.
Yeah, I think they're an experienced group. Play really hard, and they do a lot of things, right. Not gonna make too many mistakes, and it'll be a good test for us and see where we're at.
The offense created quite a few explosive plays last week. Just in terms of having those wide receivers, being vertical threats down the field, what have you seen from them so far this season?
Yeah, I think they can win either way, down the field or catch and run. I think that's the beauty of it, is you don't have to force them down the field, and you can get them the ball in space and they'll make plays. So it's a lot of fun, and I know they'll keep working and we'll be better this week.
How much have you mastered that draw the pass interference throw? We haven't really seen a quarterback in Nebraska draw the number you have in the last few weeks. Is that something that is there potentially, the way the enemies are playing?
Honestly, no. We actually want to complete those balls and get those catches for those guys, but just the way teams that play us and the way they go up for the ball, I think that just draws a pass interference. We have big receivers and that's kind of their way of covering them, but it'll be a disciplined football team this week, so we'll have to figure out other ways to move the ball.
In what ways did you what did you enjoy about playing on the road and being in a place that was somewhat hostile, and just having that experience for the first time in your career?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You go to all these Big Ten schools, or we will, and you kind of take in what each school offers, and I think that's the beauty of the Big Ten, is there's all kind of different cities and different things that make that place special. So I thought it was a great atmosphere, and yeah, it's nothing like being at home though. We're happy to be back home this week and be in front of our fans.
Halfway through your freshman season here, what's been the value of having a bunch of old guys on the line and seniors at receiver to kind of help you adjust and settle in?
Yeah, they make plays, and then they take a lot off of my plate, and couldn't be more grateful, and just learn so much from them every day. And receivers, to have the older guys that we have, and we have a lot of younger guys making plays, so I think you have a group of older guys making plays and younger guys. Things can get scary if you put it all together.
Dylan, how valuable is it to go into the younger guys with guys like Ja'Cory Barney and Carter Nelson, for you guys to kind of grow and learn and develop through this together as a freshman class?
Yeah, I think it's pivotal to have like live game reps with these guys. I think that's only going to speed up their process of getting better for all of us. And I think it's just a mentality we come out in practice to help us prepare us for the game. So we come out every day and we try to make it as game-like as possible. And so when we get in the game, it's nothing new.
Corey in particular, how much fun is it to watch him when he has the ball in his hands?
Oh, it's something special. That he's probably one of my best friends on the team, and roommate in the dorms, and we've done everything together since we've been here. So to see his work pay off and just see how much fun he has doing it, I couldn't be more proud of him, and I know he's just scratching the surface.
You didn't score, but did you like when that call came in for Carter over the top, try to get in there? On the third goal run.
Oh yeah. That was something we put in late in the week, but I wish he would have scored, but we ended up scoring the next play, so yeah, it was good.
Rutgers has one of the best red zone defenses in the country. When you look at the tape from last week in the first half, what personally do you want to improve going forward, so you're not coming up empty on those opportunities this week?
Yeah, we kind of just got to focus on the details of what we're trying to execute in the red zone. We've kind of peaked their red zone, but we haven't really studied it yet. But look forward to it. Make sure we study a little extra this week, and that's kind of what you have to do in the Big Ten, is score in the red zone. So we'll scratch and claw and try to find our way into the paint.
Gunnar made his first start last week, and you really got to trust your left tackle, to protect your blind side there. Just what did you think of the job he did to keep you clean?
Yeah, he did awesome. We couldn't be more happy for him. And young guy making his first start. They had a good player on their team, and for him to go out there and execute the way he did, and just really proud of him. And I know he's going to keep getting better. And he's got a lot of help from Teddy and Turner. Like, those older guys are pouring into him every day. So It's kind of just the culture we have established here of getting everybody better and next man up.
Hey, Dylan, you've gone against Sear, right? Can you just kind of give us like a scouting report on Sear? What's he do well?
Yeah, I think he's a really good corner. You've seen in the game he can cover deep. He can jump your routes, and I think that's what makes him good. Is he can do anything that you ask him to do, and he can play his own coverage. And he's a smart football player. So, that's my scouting report without giving you too much information on him.
How often are you kind of going to Coach Satterfield and giving him sort of ideas of things to do maybe in the upcoming game or different play calls that you'd like to see, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's an ongoing conversation all week. I'd say it's almost all the way up until Friday before we print out whatever sheets and scripts and all those kind of things. But it's ongoing all week, and it's just conversation more of what I see or what he sees, and I think the sooner we get that done in the week, the more we can practice it and see it in practice. So, I have a great relationship with him, and I think our whole offense does, and they're comfortable going to talk to him as well.
Does that carry over during the game then? Like you're talking to him when the defense is out on the field, like what you're seeing, what he's seeing, to kind of put those ideas together?
Yeah, we talk pretty like every other drive, and it kind of goes, his line of communication goes to my quarterback coach, and I'd say everyone's all on the same page on the offensive side. When we get to the sideline, everyone sees the same thing, and I think that just goes back to the preparation all week that we put in, and you work so hard during the week just to go out in the game and to be free and play football.
All right.
Thank you.
How useful was that game Saturday, just the way you finished it with the momentum you had on offense and maybe overcoming a little adversity along the way?
Yeah, I think it was good for us as a team, especially as an offense. Just from past years, that might have not have been the feeling that we had going into the halftime. I know as a team we went into halftime knowing that we had there's no worriness, there's no what's going on. We knew as an offense who we are and what we can do, and that if we just lock in and play the games, we play the plays we can play and finish the drives and do everything we can do, make the plays our players can make, we're going to be successful. And I think that's what we showed in the second half.
What do you think you guys are at in that quest to want to put together first half you played against Colorado and a second half you played against Purdue, and be able to how close are you to be able to turn that into a 4-quarter game?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to just finishing. We just have to be able to finish drives, and can't beat ourselves. We had false starts, we had we jumped off sides and things like that. We just can't have those types of penalties where it's just mental errors. We just have to be able to lock in and just kind of finish.
Where does that lack of worry, that sense that you guys can trust in your process come from? How is that different this year than maybe last season?
Yeah, I just think that us as an offense, as a team, we know we put in a lot of work, and we trust each other. We have a lot of trust built, in the coaches. We have a lot of trust in the players to go out and make the plays and execute the game plan. But I think a lot of it just comes down to the amount of work we put in. I truly don't believe that any team has worked as hard as we have and put in the amount of work that we have in the off season and just now. We're extremely physical, and when we execute things at a high level, I think we're going to be extremely hard to beat.
Dylan can hit those 3rd and 20 type throws. How different does that make this offense be? Because in years past, you obviously had to play those situations a lot differently.
Yeah. Obviously having him back in the backfield, he's a dynamic quarterback, smart kid, really smart kid. And, he's really good at going through the progressions. That's one thing that, I'm not surprised, but just I love, that he can do is just he goes through his progressions and, if something's not open, he'll go back to the check down or something like that, which we haven't done a lot in the past, and just as little as it is, it's huge in football. And just having him be able to, make those off balance throws, stuff like that on 3rd and 20, and just be able to find the open receivers, yeah, it's huge. Just be able to, convert on those big plays and give us momentum, to continue and finish drives.
What do you make as an older guy in the program of the way that he's eased into a leadership role? Can't be an easy thing to do for a freshman.
Yeah, definitely not. I just think that has shown, he's not the calmness he has, the work he's put in. It just shows. The amount of work he's put in makes him, calm on the field. Nothing really phases him. He's always calm, and I know I keep saying that, but like it is crazy, especially at the quarterback position. You have so many things going on. You have to make, these reads. You have to, do, audibles out of the different plays. You have to see coverages and post-snap, pre-snap. There's just a lot of stuff going on, in that position. And just him being able to slow everything down and be calm from the amount of film he's watched and work he's put in, it just shows on the field and practice. So I think that's been noticed, and everyone sees, how good he is in those situations.
Thomas, you guys have 10 plays of 20 yards or more over the last 2 weeks. Do you guys see explosive plays hitting pretty regularly when you're at practice?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have, I was going to say that we have, the 2 big guys outside. We got Jamal and Isaiah, and then we got Jacory and then, a little fast man. They're fast, and Jacory's like, jar of lightning. And then you got Isaiah and Banks who can just make 50-50 balls. So when you have everyone like that, it opens up everything. And then, it's just huge for us to be able to go out and make those plays because it's just hard to, especially when teams play man. Last times we played to play man, it's hard to cover everyone, especially the big boys. So being able to go out there and convert, yeah, it's hard to do. And we do see a lot of practice because of the athleticism we have outside. So
you mentioned the importance of finishing. You're going to take on a Rutgers team that's terrific at, red zone defense. What have you seen from them? What makes them so effective, and what kind of challenges that bring in for you guys?
Yeah, they just play hard. They play with a lot of strain. They're a tough physical team, and in the red zone they have a lot of success. They are really disciplined, and each player doing their job. And kind of like I said, they're really physical bunch, and they don't give up huge chunk plays, especially in the red zone. That's really, I think, their best stat is in the red zone. They don't really give up anything. So they play, from what I've noticed, they play, a lot of, different types of coverages in the red zone. And I think that they're just really good at what they do in that area. So I think that's what helps them, is they're just really disciplined. And they also have a lot of old guys. I mean, I think 10 of their 11 guys on defense are all juniors or seniors. So having a lot of experience definitely helps.
Thomas, you're kind of stacking healthy seasons here, knock on wood, a little bit. What ways would you feel like you've grown as a player this year, just being out there every week?
Yeah, for me personally, I feel like obviously one thing I always wanted to work on is my blocking, and I feel like that's been a place where I've definitely gotten a lot better at, is blocking, and just obviously I need to continue to get better at it. Not where I want to be in that area, but blocking, and then just everything kind of slowing down even more. Being able to see what the defense is in before, after, post, pre-snaps, things like that. Route running, I think route running has gotten a lot better, especially against like man, and then when you notice it's like you think it's zone and then they go to man, being able to react and adjust and then make a route out of that. I think I've done a really good job at, but like not where I want to be. Obviously, just need to continue to get better. But yeah, I think that those are some areas I've gotten better.
Does it change at some point in your career where you throw a block, or maybe you do something that not everybody notices, but you take as much pride in that, seeing it back, as a catch or something like that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I kind of like Alex had, in the Purdue game, just like similar to that, when he had that big block to spring Jacory free on the outside. You get excited, just as excited about that, because you're not saying that he made the play, but he made the play. Like obviously it takes 11 guys, but his block was key. Things like that. Just I feel the same way about, for sure.
Thank you.
got an impressive running back. What kind of pops out about him watching it?
His feet never stops, like even on contact. And he just keeps driving, and that's probably the thing that sticks out the most because, you know, he's a smaller guy, but he's a very powerful runner.
You guys have kind of preached that dominant contact all season. How important is that, maybe more so than the past couple with the running back that you guys are facing this week?
He's a back who's going to bring it to you. So, I mean, you know, he uses dominant contact, so if we use it, it's going to be a lot of clacking going on.
Talked a lot this offseason about preparing your body to be able to stuff the run. How much more confidence do you have going into a game like this personally, now that you kind of bulked up, and how have you felt through the first 5 games?
I felt good, you know, getting my body back, but it's going to be this. I feel like it's going to be a statement game for me to myself, because it's me versus me. Knowing like this is going to be a game we're going to have to stop the run, and if I'm doing good at it, it's going to be a testament to what I put in, all the work I put in.
What did you see from Javen Wright over the last 2 months since he had that setback, and what was it like as a teammate to watch him get out there on the field Saturday?
I mean, he's been still coming in. Even when he knew he wasn't playing, he was still the same guy, putting in the same work, just like if he was coming back. You know, just seeing him coming back, it was a joyful moment because we know all the work he put in, and we know, like, I know how I feel to have football taken away from you for like a certain amount of time. So just seeing him get back out there, it was a joyful moment.
He's had it taken away several times in his 6 years here. 6 years, yeah. Have you seen what have you seen about his attitude, and was it any different this time than previously when he's had to sit?
I mean, you know, obviously there's disappointment within yourself because, you know, you want to go out there and play. But most people in that position, it'll happen to them, and they'll kind of just stop going to meetings and, you know, stop putting in the work. But he never stopped. It was just as if he was still going to go out there and play.
What's so good about Keona Davis to, you know, be giving you reps already as a true freshman? He just got here in the summer.
I mean, you see how big he is. He's going to be a dominant player, just getting the game feel so it doesn't feel like it's moving too fast.
Do you like, how much do you like to be that mentor to those guys that are new?
Oh, man, I love it because, you know, they see me doing stuff and then they ask, like, what I was thinking on that play. So I kind of get them my insight on it, and then they'll just make their own play off of it.
It's gonna be hot on Saturday. It's gonna be hot on Saturday, and I think 92 degrees. I mean, for the defense, how important it will be to get off the field so you guys can stay fresh for 4 quarters.
I mean, it's gonna be very important, but we rotate a lot of guys anyway, so I feel like it shouldn't be a problem.
Have you gotten better as this season's gone on, Jamari?
Really, my film study. I've been putting in more work into like catching on to tendencies and those type of things, and like mannerisms within, like, if it's going to be a run or a pass with, like, the O-lineman. Thank you.